It's time for the free play account, and we are back with another GP weekend. And you join me in qualifying. We are 3 races in, and we can see 43, 45 and 44 points. And the hope is that we can get round to all the way to the final round. Remember, no money spent at all in this account, and that will be the way it stays. So here we go. We've got Nicholas Latifi and Alex Albon, and this is the current car setup that we are using. Very good car setup, I feel, for especially when I'm only in Series 3. So let's kick it off in the Winter GP. Qualifying, race number 4, and you can see we've finished with a first finish medal, and then we've got 2 lots of top 10. And we've only got 198 flags in our account at the moment. So can we get a good matchup? Can we get through nice and easy to the final round? We've got a couple of rounds, obviously, to go first as we pull our very first matchup. And it's a higher team score matchup. So this is going to be pretty tough, especially considering we have the track of Hungary to try and beat. And let's see what damage we can do. I haven't showed Hungary too much on my channel, especially from a strategy guide, so this will be an interesting one for you to have a look at. Race number 1, we are starting P4 and P7, so a very tough matchup to begin with. And looking at the tyre strategies, we've got to go long, have to go long, I'd have thought. So we're going to go medium, and we're going to go hards for that 1, possibly 2 stop strategy. So lights on, going. We'll make 5 lights and we'll be underway to show you the races on this channel this week. And Albon gets a good start up to P3. Goes up the inside of Zhou in P2. And now Albon, all over Albon as well. Can he get into P1 via the first sector? He's pushing hard. He's not going to be able to. So we're going to cut down Alex Albon. We're also going to cut down Nicholas Latifi, and we should be doing what potentially is a 1 stop on both cars in this race. But let's see how it folds out first. And we're just going to conserve now, save our tyres, and hopefully the end of this race we're going to be a lot quicker than the cars around us. As Latifi does lose a position to Russell, I could have thought that, but I don't want to waste too much fuel or tyre management at the moment. That's going to come into play when I do pit. And Latifi, pretty slow, but at the minute he'll be absolutely fine there, and we're going to just try and keep the position. But what will happen is the AI and the rival will pit, and we'll start boosting with Latifi, and he should be absolutely good as gold there. Now, the rival's sort of pushing us, but he's on the hard tyre, so he's not making that move stick. And now Alex Albon can probably try and get away a little bit from the pressure of Zhao. Guan Yu. Can't even speak properly. So, still going around Albon, holding up the field a little bit, but also letting P2 and P1 get away. That's the danger. And we are well on track to be doing 4 laps on this strategy. Remember, you need 25% a lap to do 4 laps on this medium, and we're on 36. So we've got enough time to push round, because we can do at least 5 if we did 20% a lap. So we're going to close the gap with Albon. He's into P2 after a pit stop, and Latifi up to P6. We're going to close up with Latifi now as well. So all that saving of fuel and tyres that the AI came past us, they couldn't get as far as our Albon. As we pit Albon, so he's in the pits, and now Nicholas Latifi will carry on round. He's got enough tyre management to keep pushing, and he will take over into P4, and he'll be coming back for the medium tyres, and Alex Albon back out on them mediums. And we've got 1 pit stop ahead, so we could at least move up 1 position as Albon closes up on Latifi. P4 and P5 at the moment, as Latifi will come into the pits, and in comes the rivals Guan Yu as well. And now Albon with a good chance. Can he go up the inside of Max Verstappen? He can. Alex Albon into P2. And where's Latifi going to come out the pits? Latifi can push to the end, and he looks like he's coming out from the corner of the screen into P6. So this one-stop strategy should hopefully work a treat here in Hungary. And we need to chase down P1 if we can. And Albon's got 2 laps to go of nearly full pushing. And what about Latifi? He can see him going around the last hairpin now. And we're just going to save where we can with Albon because of tyres. And then we're going to start to push again shortly. Our Latifi's up to P4 now. But we're just focusing on Albon, see if we can watch where the rival is. And the rival is in the pits. 5.3 seconds. And now, remember, 25% a lap. And we're at 25%. So we can't push too much. But we have got Alex Albon into the lead. And Nicholas Latifi into P3 on the very last lap. And it's going to feel like an eternity here because the rival is absolutely hammering the door because he wants to get past Albon and he is on the soft tyres. So can we hold this out? A bit of strategic play. Latifi might get in the way. He doesn't. And we're going to have to save. We've only got 4% tyres, but it's enough for Alex Albon to hold on to the position. He finishes P1. Latifi, he'll come home for P3. And Albon and Latifi, that's probably their best finishes ever in a Grand Prix. P1 and P3 in the end for the drivers. 46 points against a higher team score. We shall take that. And let's have a look. Look at that. Zhou level 4, Albon level 1. And quite a bit of a stronger car as well. So we did the best we could. We got the 46 points. And that should see us through to the opening round. Otherwise, it'd be a pretty pointless video. 4 races, 178 points in the bag. Going to be close, but we should hopefully get through. We move on to race 7 this time. And race 7 comes from Japan and Suzuka. And it is the opening round. And we're still on the same team score. And we've got a okay matchup here. So it's pretty close. And we are obviously on 250 flags now. As you can see, we've been chipping away at Series 3. Trying to push up a little bit and get some more coins. And we are racing in Japan. We should be doing a 1-stop. Potentially a 2-stop depending on how I feel. And we'll soon find out what I want to do in this race. We've got a dry qualifying here in Japan. And we need some good points. Some good points would be very nice indeed. As we come across the line, and we're actually getting out qualified by a lower team score. Now that's interesting. But we are P3. We are P4. So, we'll see what happens here. And we're going to go Nicholas Latifi onto the mediums. So 3-2-2 for Latifi. And Alex Albon is going to be doing a 4-3 strategy. One of my go-to strategies, even on my main account. So here we go. Can we get a good start? And Latifi trying to get past the Ferrari and Albon. It's a bit chaos at the front. And we are, as that first corners go, P3 and P5 at the minute. So we've lost a position, but Latifi all over the back of Leclerc. And we're going to keep boosting just to the hairpin. And can we make a move? We can't, so we're going to cut down. We're safely in P3 and P4 at the minute. The rival is out front on hard tyres, so he's not going to be pushing too hard on them hard tyres. It's at least going to be a little bit slower anyway. Now, what can we do in this race? We definitely need a good result, that's for sure. And it is weird not using boosts, especially when I run my main account at the same time alongside. But that's why I'm showing you a free-to-play account. I respect every single one of you, and this is what you have to deal with, so I want to bring you the best way of potentially doing that. So, as we come down, we've got the rival in P2. We're going to try and hold this position with Albon, and we can. We can just survive. But also Magnusson goes back up the inside, and somehow we've lost that position, which is unlucky. So P5, and somehow we nearly lose a position to Norris. Albon's all over the place on that hard tyre. All over the place. As Latifi starts lap 3. And he's in P2. We've had a pit stop from one of the early pit stoppers. And can we get Albon through the Ferrari? We push up through a little bit. Just can't get him. Can we get him into the hairpin? He goes wide. Oh, and I go wide, but can we hold the position? We can. Wow, there's some odd corners coming out on this track so far. As Latifi is coming into the pits. So we're not going to service. We're right on that 50%. And we're going to be taking soft tyres and doing 2-2. So it's potentially a slower strategy, but the rivals force my hand. So hopefully we can get through Charles Leclerc and me pretty quickly as Latifi goes round the outside, right against the Ferrari who is under the bridge, and he's through. He's into P3, and now he's got the hard tyre of Magnussen, who's about to run out of tyres. He obviously hasn't changed them in a while. He can't afford them because he's run out, and Nicholas Latifi has taken P2, and we are now P2 and P5 as Latifi carries on one more lap and he's into P1. So we can't push too much because I can't service him. But the rival will come out in P3 and he's chosen the hard tyres. So we've got an advantage with Latifi and we can jump the rival in the pits. So Albon comes out P8 and there's not many pit stops around us. So here's Latifi, P1, coming into the pits for some car servicing and a fresh set of boots. And Albon can pretty much push to the end. There's a great move up the inside of that corner to take P7. And we're going to try and conserve when we can. And he's got the Alpine in front of him of Ocon. So Latifi coming out the pits. Can he hold P1? It's going to be close. We can't. So we lose P1 as Albon comes past Ocon in the pits. He's up to P6. And we've just got just under 2 laps of pushing. And what about now Latifi stretching the lead up front? That's good news. And what about Albon in P6? Can he go around the outside? What about up the inside? But Verstappen takes that route, tries to get Gasly, and they're side by side. Can Albon pick up the pieces if there's an accident here? He does. He does get Gasly, though, who's forced wide on to the marbles. And we gain a position. We're up to P5. But what about P4? Albon's on a mission. Albon up to P4. And we're now P1 and P4. Is there a chance we can get P3? It's going to be tough. And we're just conserving a little bit with Latifi. And then we'll see that one through to the finish. And you can see the Ferrari. Albon's got him in his sights. I don't think we're going to be able to close the gap. So it looks like it might just be P1 and P4. As we come down the back straight. And it looks like, I hope and can't get him. I thought he might have a breakdown. We're out of tyres anyway. But in race 7 of opening round, we are at P1 and P4. 45 points against the rival. Tough race, that one. But that should see us through as well. We've had some hard racing in that round. And you can see it's 326 points off 7 races. We've done pretty well today. A lot of 47s, you can see. Just the 2 races where we've in total dropped 3 points. So we should well and truly be on to the next round of final round. Let's see what we can do. Final round in Canada. And it has been so tough today. If you watched my main account at the weekend, I had some really bad matchups. And honestly, today, I've had 7 higher team score matchups so far. They've all been 50 to 100 higher, and we've been qualifying, probably P4, P8 every single race, even out to P10. It's been so tough. And we finally get a decent matchup here in Canada. Race number 8. It's a relief to get a decent matchup, but the damage, although you haven't seen, is well and truly done already. It's raining, and where can we start in the wet in Canada? We've got positions 1 and 5, and we've also got a dry race. So, mediums is the call for both drivers. We're going to do a 4 and a 4, and I'm just hoping at this point for a decent finish to a very long day at the office. So can we get a good start? Latifi from the front should be absolutely fine, and he is. Albon up to P4, and hopefully we can cement that position early on and even maybe catch Sainz daydreaming of another victory. As we go around the outside? Not quite, so we're going to cut down shortly, and Latifi and Albon will then conserve. We'll try and get them on the hairpin when we're close enough, but at the minute there is no danger around us. The rival back in P6 and P7 as we start lap 2. So Latifi should be very solid from the front here and should be in no danger from anyone else. And we've really just got to get Alex Albon through the field, past P3 and past 2. Easier said than done, as you know. So it's going to be the 4-lap strategy. 4 laps on medium, 4 laps on hard. And Latifi's got Ron right behind him now, but Canada is a difficult track to overtake, as Albon's got Leclerc right behind him. And we're just holding these up a little bit, as Latifi's been done on the first corner by Lando, but he is on the softs. So I'm not too bothered about losing a position, just got to focus on my race and my race only. As we're coming into nearly the last part of this stint, just a lap and a quarter to go until we'll be hitting the box and making our mechanics earn their dollar at the Canadian Grand Prix. So will Sainz stay behind? He will, because he'll be pitting, so I imagine that's both in. Yep, Norris and the Ferrari are in the pits. Norris just coming out, so we're not going to catch him with our Albon. Sounds like we're playing Pokemon, doesn't it? We're not going to catch him with our Albon. But we are P1 with Latifi, and we've got to create a little bit of a gap here. We're going to come back on the hards because we can push all the way to the end. And Latifi now boost all the way down the back straight, and he'll be into the pits. We're not going to push Albon because we don't want to stack. We might stack a little bit, but I don't want to stack too much. And Albon now coming into the pits, and it's a perfect pit stop because we're out without double stacking. And Latifi comes out P3, and Albon gets ahead of the rival. That was crucial, but what about the other rival? No, he can't, but he is on the soft, so he should be faster than us. As where can we go from here? How far can we get Alex Albon up the field? And this is probably not going to hurt us too much, being stuck by Zhou, or Zhou, whatever you want to call him. As can he get him into the last corner? He's going to give it a go, but can't get it done. The Ferrari's in the pit, so we move up to P5. And Latifi still in P2. So we'll be stuck behind Norris. This soft tyre will be pitting this lap, and we can see P3 in the distance as well. So, we're not in a bad position. We've got P3 and P4 right ahead. And can we accelerate through as Latifi's into P1? Ferrari carries on. And we're just going to fall short of that McLaren coming back out of the pits again. But we need to get Sainz, because Sainz is going to stop us catching that McLaren. And it's wide moves. It is hard to overtake on the hards, but we need this. We need the tyre management without the boosts. So we've risked it. And what about in the hairpin? Can we make a move? He tried. And it's 1 lap to go. And we're struggling to get Alex Albon past Sainz. Oh, and Sainz pit. So we're up to P3. That's a good move. That's what we needed for the points. and we are approaching the last part of this. We're not going to catch Norris, I don't think. He's on the softs. It's going to be impossible, hard versus soft. We'll give it a go. We'll leave him on boost all the way. We're not far away. It's going to be too far, but Latifi will win the Canada Grand Prix in Montreal. Alex Albon will come home in P3 to secure a P1 and P3 in Canada as the rival finishes off in P4 and P6. So another decent race. We just couldn't get Albon through into that lucrative P2 position. But it is another 46 points, and you will now see the damage that has been done today with matchmaking. It's been awful. 7 bad races. And we're P14 at the very best. 360 points. It was very tough at the top today. But our matchups were actually terrible. I mean, look, started so well. And then 44 points, a 43, a 41 points as well. We were never going to compete with that kind of points. Which is sad, but still, we've done our best. It may be that we move up to Challenger. We've got a 90% win ratio. But let's see what rewards hold first. I wouldn't mind a crack and finally getting P1 before we move up. But Challenger, we can definitely get through to the final round, I believe. Or we go for P1. What do you want to see? Do you want to see P1 Junior, or do you want to see us finish in Challenger as high as we can get in our current state? Let me know in the comments of what you do think we should go for, because I'm very interested as to what you feel we should be pushing for as a free-to-play account. As you can see, some of the rewards we've got coming shortly. But do let me know down below, as we will move on to the GP rewards, and fingers crossed it's something very, very nice indeed. So, GP rewards P17. It was a very tough day at the office. 360 points. We dropped a good 11, 12 points from yesterday. I think we ended up with 372. But you can see 373 was the winning points tally for the final round. So P17, a little step backwards, but it did seem to be a very hard and compact group that I was in. So, what can we get though? Can we get something decent? We've got a finish at medal, or finalist medal even. I'm just glad I did finish. We've got some reputation points. We've got 83,000 coins, which will help us go a long way. We've got some boosts, 9 frost, so a couple more frost can never go amiss. And on to the cards. So we get 34 Albon, 23 Mick, 16 Zhao, or Zhou, 34 Albon, and the epic card, 10 Tracer. So that's not too bad. It helps. I'll take any increase in cards at the moment, as we get 10 Tracer there. But yeah, do let me know if you think I should be going for Challenger or staying to get P1 in Junior. So we're up to Challenger 2 in the league now. And what do we get in this crate? See what we can unlock. Few K of coins. We've got some Stroll. We've got some Mick. So, it's okay. Nothing major. And this is the first time I'm on this today. So a little bit of a spin as well. And it stops at the 4K mark. And then we get some gold crates to open, or just the one. Mick is the method of the day because he's coming up in everything. We get some Striker, some Albon. Oh, more Mick. And also some Steam Roller. So that's not too bad. That'll help me a little bit as we move on to some free crates as well. We'll skip through these because they're usually pretty pointless. So Bottas and the clog. Let's go back in and get the other one. Skip through this one. Vettel and Orbit this time. So let's have a look what we've got then. So we're still rocking Latifi and Albon. We've got a lot of upgrades now that we can start doing. And obviously, but we are using our best 2 drivers, one from Series 6, one from Series 7. And the car is looking pretty decent as well. A lot of upgrades need doing, a lot of money needs to be spent. But that is exactly where we are with the cars and the driver. And look what we've got coming on. The Equinox event. Qualifying on Wednesday, opening round Saturday and Sunday. And fingers crossed we can put in another good show. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.